right, so you're tuning in live to KTMC, the Men's Circle, and we are live with Red Hawk, Linus Jesus, Expos One, Ernie, and two Ravens. And today, we're talking about dad stories.
Damn, the pop stories.
Dun, dun,
Or-
dun.
Papa,
Or,
can
you know,
hear me?
parent figure stories.
Yeah,
Because
okay.
some of us aren't blessed with that one. Some of
Okay,
us-
I got a good one. I got a good one to start. All right,
so do I.
so this is it's gonna be quick too. So okay. All right.
That's always your case.
You're cochino right here.
What?
Man,
I didn't say what. It's your fault. You know, if the shoe fits though.
All right. Get focus up. All right, so in this dad story, I'm gonna talk about the first time I called out my pop.
Ooh.
So I must have been about like 10 years old, and I forget what we were arguing about, but me and my dad are arguing, and you gotta understand, like, my pop did like weightlifting. He was kind of a short dude, really stocky, a lot of muscle growing up. Like, I would come home after school, and him and my uncle would be in the back, like lifting weights and getting it in. So, and he was really known in the hood for somebody that would like fight. Like when there was time to rumble, they would always go and grab my pop because he had hands like that. Runs in the family. You know what I'm saying? So,
Skip the generation.
Here's a tip.
Good thing you let us know it wasn't evident.
Yeah, skip the generation with the guy. So I'm about 10 years old. We're arguing, and I'm brave enough to look at my pop and go, "You want to go outside?"
That was exactly my dad's response right there.
He just fucking laughed at me, and it made me even more mad. I couldn't believe, like, he's sitting there laughing at me, like, I'm fucking serious. We're gonna get down right now, right? So I march my little way outside, and he's following me, kind of laughing, right? Like, oh my god. So we get to the back of my grandma's house. I square up with him, and he's just like, I could see it just like it was yesterday. A big old smile on his face, like this fucking kid, right?
You gonna learn today.
He's proud of you,
I
probably.
fucking punch him in the eye. I give him everything I got. So as I'm letting this shot off, I'm thinking like, oh, this is gonna rock him, right?
Was it like this?
Yeah, it landed very similar to that. So I crack him, bam! It did not have the effect that I thought it would, by far. My dad's face went from a big ass smile, right?
To like, oh, you're fucked.
Like, I can't believe you just fucking did that. You know? And I knew right away, like, when he didn't crumble like I thought he would.
It was at this moment X knew he fucked up.
Yeah. It's like,
this
we're
moment.
keeping it real. It goes wrong. Right? So he grabs me by the back of my shirt, and he punches me in the stomach really, really hard, right? So I take this hit to the stomach, and I'm thinking like, okay, I'm in over my head. Let me just drop to the floor, right? And show like, okay, you got me. Hell nah. He held me up on my shirt and probably punched me, I don't know, about like 7 times, 7 times, just let me have it. Boom, 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 boom. And then dropped me on the floor. And I knew at that moment, I can't take him. It was at that moment.
Come back another day.
Yeah. Now I think it'd be different. You know what I mean? Yeah. Now the situation is gonna be different.
You
but-
shoot the blast double this time?
Yeah. Back the 10-year-old.
Lead with the jab. Lead with the jab.
The 10-year-old ex definitely had nothing on. You know, they say like there's something about men's strength, right? You know, there's something about like when you get into your 30s, you might not be as like physically fit as you were in your 20s, but you have this kind of fucking strength that Jesus here hasn't got. You know? So one day you're gonna be a man, all right?
I can-
You're gonna get that one, all right?
I can
But
co-sign
not
that
today, okay?
I don't mean to laugh, dog. I don't mean to laugh.
There was a time.
No, that was funny. That was funny.
There was a time I was holding Chewy up by his shirt too.
Giving him the business.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my dad's story right there.
Y'all have some really vivid dreams about me.
So one time my mom was telling my dad, she goes, "Ow, take me somewhere I never been before." And my dad goes, "How about the kitchen, Peg?"
That's the same one we said, "Did you miss me?"
That's fun.
I remember my dad. He was always like betting, like, "Oh, I bet you won't do this for $5. I bet you won't do that for $10." So he goes, "I bet you won't go outside in your boxers for $5." Like, yeah, well, dude, the fuck's my boxer? I was like 13 probably. So I mean, my fucking dumbass didn't double think this shit and like go outside. He's like, "Give me your shirts." I take, "You know my shirt. Give me your shorts." All right, cool. "Give me your shoes and socks." I'm like, "All right, cool." And he goes, "I'll go outside." And I was standing in the porch. I go, "Yeah, I'm outside." And he goes, "No, good. Where?" Like in the middle. So I go in the middle, he fucking closed the door, locks it. Dude, that's not even, like, he locks the door, I'm over here fucking running, like, banging on the door, and hopefully he opens it, dude, he comes out through the other side of the door, and he fucking jams. And he leaves, dude, he leaves me outside. And then, I think he came back like an hour later, dude, I'm sitting down, fucking cold, on the fucking porch, freezing my balls off and shit, dude.
It was night.
Pobre.
It was like around 6,
Summer or winter time?
like in the winter, probably.
Oh,
Like around Halloween time, I remember all the fucking Halloween decorations and shit.
Fall.
windy.
And I think he went to like gyms or something.
Damn, he went and grabbed that burger.
He went
and
with
just
mom
left
and shit, and he like came
On
back.
First Street? On First Street?
Yeah, on First Street.
Oh, they took forever on this
Dude.
deal.
But he comes back and he's fucking pointing at me and he's just like fucking like laughing and shit. in the car, and
I
I'm
would
like,
have been
fuck.
too. I would have been too.
He got me on pastrami though, so it was like, alright.
Okay, all right, yeah, that.
Fair trade, fair trade.
That's a good one. How about you over here? Jesus Cristo.
At that moment. Well, I mean,
It could be a parent figure moment.
I
Yeah, you
mean,
can talk
Role
about me.
model.
I remember, I'm the father of all 4 of you right here. Nah, I see y'all. I see y'all.
Yo, there's some mats downstairs.
Set them up.
They're already set up. They're waiting. All they're waiting for you. That's all.
Well, my father wasn't very much of a kind person, you know. Me and my older sister used to get our ass whooped a lot. My little sister, she caught like the last end of it, you know. But I remember he would always like have this way with me where like I was like the disappointment, you know, like because of, you know, I used to get into trouble and shit, and like he would always tell me like never gonna amount to nothing, you know, you're gonna end up on the street, all that shit.
Wisdom.
And so like, okay, so
Sacred. Old ways.
I don't
Old ways.
have too many encounter with the police, you know, because like when cops came, I was gone, you know, like I booked it, you know, so fucking I was a very good runner when I was in middle school. So given the fact that like my dad didn't like really put like confidence, you know, like in me and stuff like that, like
I'm sorry.
well, what did I say that was so funny, huh?
Nothing. It's what I was thinking that was so funny. Go ahead.
I'm surprised you think at all.
I don't want to know.
Anyways, I kind of have an idea what you're thinking.
Go ahead.
Anyways, in 6th grade, I had this PE teacher. His name was Mr. Rios, right there in Belvedere, and we used to do the mile run outside of school, and they used to let the whole school out at the same time. And I was always the first one coming back in, you know, like when I timed it, I used to get like under 5 minutes, like that was like my mark. And one time during parent-teachers conference, like all my teachers had bad shit to say about me. Like, he doesn't show up to class, he doesn't do his work, he's fucking around all the time, you know, like. And that one teacher was like, yo, you have a very talented kid, he's a very good runner, you know, like he's like, you know, like very athletic, all this stuff. You should put him in this marathon, you know? And I was like, what the fuck? Fuck a marathon, you know? What the fuck am I going to be doing there, you know? And, like, I remember he was really trying to convince my parents to, like, take me there and get me to go. And I was like, nah, I'm good. And my dad goes, look, if you go, I'll buy you any pair of shoes that you want. And I was all like,
The
what?
best
Yeah.
huaraches.
I was all like, what? Like, I get
The
something.
close to huaraches.
Bro, I've never got what I wanted, you know? So for him to say that, it was like, what?
The
Like,
open toe huaraches.
say no mas, you know? Like, I jumped in and I signed up. The thing was at Griffith Park. And I smashed it, dude. Like, you know, like my race, like it was 6th grader race, 7th graders, and 8th graders, and they were all from different schools. And at the time I was in 6th grade, so when I ran with the 6th graders, I remember my uncle, he would tell me like, hey, stick behind somebody so they can break the wind for you and you have a better, like,
So
you
they
know,
can
like,
fart on you?
you don't catch the thing, you know. And I was like, okay, whatever, you know. So like when the race started, I remember just like booking it because my homie Rudy, he was pretty fast too. He would always come in after me in school. And like we're like running, and there's like this black kid and some Asian kid like running with us, and they're keeping up with us probably like a mile in, you know, like probably like a mile in. And after the mile in, passing that, it was just me and the black kid. I forgot what school he was from. And we're like running, and I'm intentionally not pushing myself because like
You want to stay in second?
huh?
You want to stay in second?
Yeah, because of the whole drafting, right? But then, like, I started noticing that, like, this
He's
fool
gonna
was
win the fucking
slowing
race.
down. No, that
Oh.
he was slowing down, and I felt like I was giving it like maybe like 60%, you know, like honestly, you know. And so like after this, I was like, fuck this shit, you know, and I just fucking started booking it, and like I passed it, like, dude, when I finished the race, like. The next person to come in was my homie Rudy, and he took a while to come and cross that line, you know. So I won 2 medals that day. I won first place for 6th graders and 5th place in fastest time, you know, to complete it.
Did
And
you
I-
pass the drug test after? Did you find out you had Scante?
Nah, I didn't try Scante till high school.
Oh, okay.
Dirty.
So
That's why you.
So yeah, you know, like when I won the race, I went home and I showed my dad the medals, and he goes like, okay, yeah, let's go to the shoe store. And I wanted some, like, there was some Nike shoes that were there. I forgot what like how they looked, and there were some black. They kind of looked like Cortez's because you know how they look like black and white and shit. And I wanted them, and he goes, no, you're gonna look like a gangster with those. And he didn't buy me the shoes that I wanted. You know, he bought me some other shoes.
Oshkosh
Bro,
Bagash.
some fucking bootleg ass fucking Jordans
Hush
and shit, you
puppies.
know. I was like super mad, you know, and it's
LA
crazy.
gears and shit.
You're very,
Yeah.
you're very ungrateful, dog.
With the
Huh?
blinky.
For real?
He bought you the ones with the blinky lights.
Nah, you know. So
Remember that? Remember that?
that's
I'm trying to
that,
find some of those right now.
that was always like my dad. I remember one time he told me too, like, oh, if you like graduate from middle school, like if you pass get your certificate, like I wanted a PSP at the time, you know, and he goes, I'll buy you a PSP.
Here's a Game Boy.
You know, at that time he didn't buy me shit, you know. So I was like, after that, I like when he would tell me shit like that, I was like, no, I'm good, you know. So like I just straight fucked up after that, you know. Like,
You got what you deserve.
Nothing.
So basically, you didn't trust him.
yeah, I
He didn't come through for you, so you fucking like, fuck it, I'm a gangbang.
yeah, pretty much. No, I mean, I think he whooping our ass, you know. Like we had a tree outside. It's not there no more, but we had a tree outside our house. And when we wouldn't wash dishes or do chores or whatever, he
You
would
get the
like
switch from the tree.
he'd make us pick it.
Oh.
He'd make us go
Yes.
get me a fucking branch from the tree, you know. And then like if I would get like a small one, and if it was too small for him, he'd be like, "Go get another one."
Nah, those ones
Those are the
would
worst.
wrap around your leg and give you a welt. Like,
Dude, you know, that's some hardcore shit. I would never put. If I ever have kids, I would never do that to them, you know. 'Cause-
You'll choose it yourself, huh?
yeah.
Oh man.
damn, son. Damn, I felt bad for you, though.
I don't.
I felt bad for your dad too. Though. Yeah, to put up
Feel
with your
bad for his
shit.
hand, you know what I mean? Must have been a lot on his hand.
He's like, here I am giving this fucking child a house and food, and he's all bitching
Ungrateful
about shoes.
motherfucker.
They give you one job, pick a good fucking.
I
thing
went
up
and bought
there.
this fool some shoes, and he's all like, oh, they wear Nikes.
I don't want LA gear.
Hey, I didn't ask to be born, bro.
I don't want feelers.
I didn't ask to be
All right,
born.
who's missing? Who's missing the story?
Red Hawk, Red Hawk.
Hedge hockey.
So,
This guy is the best dad story.
Oh my god. So, for those that don't know my father, he's a fucking character. Yeah, he's a character. I have like so many stories to pull from, and a lot of them I was never there.
That doesn't count.
So you're an absent son?
No.
You're like the complete opposite, bro.
No, I've had experiences, but like
He went to the store for cigarettes and never came
no,
back.
it's just like this dude, like he's told his like he has a history of getting drunk and telling his war stories,
Okay.
and he's always with people who were there, so they're confirming these war stories.
Oh, okay.
But
Okay.
I've heard them,
Like neighborhood war stories
not just
and
like,
actual war stories.
yeah, like just different stories, and I've heard them so many times that they're
All right. So choose a good
Yeah,
juicy
I'll-
one.
I'll-
Good one.
The
Okay, so this one, like, I kind of brought. No, it's kind of similar to the one I brought up last time. But so, my mom and my dad were seeing each other. I think in high school. This might be in high school, maybe a little bit after. I don't know. And my mom and him, they're rocky. They're not really together, but they're together. Some fucking weird shit going on in the relationship. Bottom line is my mom is moving on now, so she's seeing other dudes or another guy, and my dad, Mr. Fucking Territorial, was not having it. So we came looking for this fucking dude. He got drunk and he's like, he drove to this dude's house and was like, hey, where the fuck's this fool? I don't know what his name was, but I think his name was Eric. Where's Eric at? And some other fool was on his porch like, he ain't here. He goes, tell that motherfucker I'm looking for him. And I'm gonna come back for him. And then he fucking dips.
Oh, well, you let them know I'm coming.
Yeah. So he does come back. Well, when he comes back, there's a fucking squad of cars, like 10 cars deep, waiting for my pops. And he's there with him and just his, I think, him and his one friend in a car. So these fucking guys see my dad and they immediately start chasing. So they start.
There's the guy who wants Eric.
Yeah. And I started chasing my pops, and it's like I said, 10 cars deep, chasing my dad, and he's driving on Huntington, not Sereno, on Huntington Drive up to Bardia. Mind you,
The parque.
yeah. So mind you, his friend is in the heavens, and you can see him being chased. He knows this is my dad's car from that far up, that he can see it. So he decides to drive down and meet him because he's like, this just looks weird, you know? All these cars are chasing, they're going fast. So they get down to the heavens. They end up, my dad ends up pulling up into, my dad pulls up into the driveway of our grandma's pad. And my dad's friend pulls up. And so it's just like 3 of them and then the fucking squad of cars. And then they fucking all get out of the car, right? And everybody gets out, so they're gonna jump my dad and his friends. My dad and his friends, they all grab a weapon. They find whatever they could. Like he said, remember,
Like
one of them
an
had a pipe.
Anchorman?
Well, yeah, like an Anchorman. Like, one of them had a pipe, one of them had a baseball bat.
¿Cómo
Like,
están,
one of them had a
bitches?
knife, and they're just like,
Ne-
all
ne-
right.
ne- 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 Bro, bro.
They're like, let's just we're gonna do this. Like, we're gonna get fucking mopped up, but fuck it, take all as many as we can. Well,
I like that mentality.
Nobody had a gun.
nobody had a gun. Nobody had a gun.
And they were in the army.
In
No, they
Guardia.
weren't in the army yet. This is high school, so this is like not army yet.
They still didn't have a gun?
No, check this out. My uncle,
So there's no gun.
just wait, let me tell the story. My uncle, I don't know how he got wind of this, but he was living there at my grandma's house still. He heard what was going on, and he grabbed a shotgun and walked outside.
So there was a gun.
There wasn't a gun. And he fucking racks it and lets one off. I said, what the fuck's going on here? And my dad's like, I want to fight this motherfucker. They're about to jump me. He's like, nobody's jumping my nephew. And he goes, you guys are going to fucking get down right now. So, fuck it. They turn into a circle pit.
Oh, shit.
And my dad and this fool went one-on-one.
Now,
That's all that's perfect.
all of a sudden, Eric is like, yo, I call all my boys here, and now I gotta get down with you one-on-one.
So my dad and this fool, they fight, right? My dad beats him up, but it's not bad. So what ends up happening? So what ends up happening is that fool's still talking shit. He's still running his mouth. So my dad was like, you know what? Fuck this. Round 2. This time it ain't gonna be so nice. So he says he ends up beating him up again, and the point where this fool doesn't get up. And those fool's friends have to literally pick that fool up and drag that fool off, and that's how that story ends. And that's the weird shit my dad, I've heard over and over again from other people who confirm it. The people that were there heard it, confirm it.
Damn.
Nice. That's
Well,
a good one.
I had a similar story, but this is like me. Like, I had just gotten out of the East Lake. And I got kicked out of Australian and went to Hollenbeck. And I started talking to this girl over the summer. Like, I was doing my community service and shit. And summer ended, school year started. And I ended up having this girl for like homeroom. And I'm still friends with this girl. And she ended up being my girlfriend, and I guess her ex-boyfriend was like super jealous and shit, like territorial or whatever. It's 7th grade, dude, like kid shit, you know? He comes up to me, he's like, yo, bro, you're my hyena. And I'm like,
Damn.
I don't know who's your hyena. Like, what's a hyena? And he's like, I was like, what's a hyena? And I go, well, Halen. And I go, oh, not Halen.
Oh.
But, and I was like, oh, yeah. Like, I don't know, she asked me if I wanted to be her boyfriend. I said, yeah. And he was like, well, that's my girlfriend. Well, apparently she's my girlfriend too. And I was like,
Community.
I was like a smart ass dude, and like, you know, I didn't have any friends, bro. I was like probably this like the first month in, and he was like, well, we're gonna get down and shit. And I go, oh, fuck it, let's go then. And no, after school in Hollenbeck Park, and I'm go, oh, I guess. I mean, sure. And he goes, you better be there. I'm gonna fuck you up. And I go, all right, cool. So then, my dad's picking me up. He would pick me up every day. And I'm walking on my back with my head down, and I see that guy. And he's walking, and he has like 4 or 5 other guys, like, or kids with them. They were kids at that point, you know? And he's walking up 6th Street towards Hollenbeck Park. And I'm with my head down, I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna get drunk, dude. Like, that's it. And my dad pulls up in his fucking raggedy ass van and shit. Like, hey, pendejo, where you going? And I go, oh, I'm going to the park. And I go, why the fuck you make me pick you up? And I'm like, oh, these guys want to get down on me.
Because I got to fight.
Yeah, because I gotta fight. And my dad's mentality was like, if you come home with your ass beat and I find out that you didn't fight back, I'm kicking your ass too. So I'm like, I gotta get down, you know? So I'm walking over there, and he's like, well, get in the van. I'm like, Dad, if I don't fight them, like, they're gonna kick my ass eventually. And he was like, well, we're gonna fucking go. So we show up, and it's like, as soon as you pass up 6th Street, it's like a little a little driveway where you could go into the park with the car, I guess, for the parks and recs or whatever. Hollenbeck. And there's like, at this point, there's like 8 or 9 other kids. And I show up and I put down my backpack, and like my dad gets off the car and he was like, well, I think the guy's name was Ephraim or something like that. And he was like, well, who's Ephraim? And he goes, well, me. And he goes, well, it's you and my son. I don't want any of you little fuckers getting in. So like, all right, cool. So the dude's kicking my ass. And I flip him over, and I start pounding him too. And the dude jumps in, and my dad just picks him up like that. I told you, the next time you jump in, I'm fucking you up. And he puts him down like nothing. I'm like, what the fuck? So we start getting down. Another dude jumps in. My dad gets mad. He just smacks him. Bam! And that was a pretty cool dad moment there, man. I was like, he just, I ended up kicking his ass, and I went home with like a big ass lip. My mom was like,
Chewy lip.
yeah. My mom was like, I know what happened, and se cayó el pendejo, and he found it for being a fucking dumbass. Yeah, I was with my dad, so she believed it and shit.
Hey, why's your nose bleeding?
It was one of those, man.
Or we get some death clock sound effects.
Yeah.
Put the
That'd be
boots
tight.
with mediums.
But I remember my youngest brother coming home running, like, fucking, like, and my dad's like, what's wrong with you? Like, they're trying to kick my ass. And he's like, what happened? Like, I ran. He was like, oh, you little bitch.
I don't think I ever told my mom about fights that I got in at school.
Uh-oh.
I don't think she even knew.
They worry too much. One time I got jumped, and I wasn't living in my house. I was living in my aunt's house. So like I had got jumped, and I come with I had like a brown eye, cause like the fool caught me slipping, like he fucking dope fiend me, you know. And like I remember going to the house, and I was like, fuck, how am I gonna hide this, you know? So like the whole time I'm talking to like my family, I'm like looking away, like I'm talking to them sideways, you know, like trying to hide that shit. They never noticed.
But I'm pretty sure they know it. They're just like, oh,
They're right. Este güey anda mugroso.
I've been trying to think about a story this whole time, and like I'm just
Nothing?
drawing blanks. Like,
you could pull one of my dads. You were at
yeah, there's a bunch of your dad ones.
this is
Yeah.
What about that one time?
Oh, that one time.
Yeah, that time, remember?
I don't know. Like, damn. What happened? See, don't pursue boxing or kickboxing because then you're gonna forget all your memories. I don't know.
Or smoke them.
Or smoke them. Yeah. I don't know. Like I have one memory that my nana was really proud of me. So there was one time during the summer I was a kid and me and my cousin Mikey are like we got the house to ourselves. The house I live in right now, we got that whole house to ourselves. And me and him used to play shoot the aliens, or like shoot the invaders, like the house is getting ran over. So like we would run around the house with like Nerf guns or like BB guns, and we'd be like clearing rooms and like shooting imaginary fucking things. And we're reloading and like like we don't have no projectiles. We're just like playing imaginary, And this day, I knew my nana was gonna be gone like all day, and nobody was gonna be there. So like we legit were like two latchkey kids. I don't know if he was a latchkey kid, but I was a latchkey kid, and like we're just using our imagination all day. So we're exploring the room that my tata's in right now, and that room has like access to the roof of the house. And like we're in the closet looking for stuff. Well, he was in the closet looking for stuff because he found like his dad's porn one time. So I think he had like this thing of like, let's see what else is in the fucking house type of shit. So he's in the closet and we discover access to the roof, and we go on the roof and we're fucking like playing aliens on the roof.
What?
Oh, you know what? That's not how
So
no.
For those that don't know, this motherfucker's roof is like 4 stories high.
Yeah.
It's not like a normal 1-story
Yeah.
house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
fucking, yeah.
Yeah.
It's tall as fucking.
You're gonna get died.
We were kids. But now that I remember, we didn't go up there because he discovered it. We were actually trying to get to the roof because if you go to the back of the house, up the hill a little bit, like you have like the houses across the street, and then there's another layer of houses above them. One of the houses above them had like this speaker on for like their TV in their house, and it was porn. And it was like just like like loud as fuck. Like
What's porn?
so yeah, don't worry about it. It's not for you.
It's not for kids. It's not for the
not for
kids.
kids.
You don't want that.
And we can hear it, but we want to see what the fuck, what's making that noise. You know what I mean? And it's fucking loud, and we can like see generally like where it's coming from. But
So you went from shooting invaders
Yeah,
and
yeah.
aliens
To, like,
trying to find
To
the
shooting
source,
invaders.
to try to find
the source of this
to try to find the source of this
porno noise.
porno noise. Yeah, and my cousin is he's like.
Tradition.
Golosa.
He's like getting through the roof, and we get on the roof, and we can see like the house that it's coming from. We can't see the TV though, but we can see that it's like a big screen TV too, and like it's a porno was on, and it's fucking loud, like, and we're just like,
What's going on?
yeah, it's like it's a trip, like what the fuck is going on or whatever.
Why is he killing her?
But when we realized that like this is the extent of our investigation, like okay, whatever, that shit stayed on for a long time. We don't know if it was like a mishap or whatever. We never got to the bottom of that. But we did start playing Invaders on the Roof and shit. We're looking down and like, oh damn, this is cool, whatever. And then eventually time passes, and
In the hallway.
oh fuck.
And time passes.
So time passes, and
He's playing Shoot the Invaders.
yeah, sorry. So time passes, and we go downstairs, and nothing happens. My nana comes home, whatever. The next day, I'm at home. This is like a Sunday, so my mom picks me up, and I go home, and I go to school, come back from school, and my nana calls, which is kind of uncommon, but I'm on the phone with her, and she goes, "Mijo, by any chance, were you on the roof yesterday doing anything on the roof of the house?" And I was like, of course not. What the fuck? Like, I know better. I'm old enough to know no snitching. See what I mean? So I'm like,
Just
no.
lying through your teeth.
I'm like, yeah. Like, why? What? Like, I'm not going to snitch on my cousin. I'm not going to give us up. You know what I mean? I'm just like, what? No, we didn't fucking do nothing, And she's like, are you sure, mijo? You didn't do anything? I was like, yeah, I'm sure. I was like, you could ask the neighbors. Like, we didn't do nothing, like. like just holding my ground, like, and she's like, well, I did ask the neighbors, and they said they might have seen somebody on the roof yesterday. I was like, oh, really? Oh, I didn't see nobody on the roof. I was there all day, like doubling down. And then she goes, mijo, Mikey told me you guys were on the roof yesterday. And I was like, oh, you motherfucker. I'm like, damn, I'm holding it down like a boss over here, and this motherfucker straight snitched on me.
Straight 6'9" on you.
Straight fucking 6'9" on me,
The
though.
original 6'9".
Yeah. And then my nana goes, mijo, I'm proud of you for not snitching. Yeah, that's right.
I guess my first porn experience involves my dad. As weird as that sounds,
Wow.
So
Okay, so that concludes our show.
it's a dad story. But the trip out. So my dad, he used to work at this company here in Montebello off of Greenwood. They did it's called Century Wheel and Rim. And I remember him showing up to the house all excited because he found a briefcase, and there was like a bunch of movies, and it was like a bunch of clothes, and he didn't know where it came from, but he found it. He just took it, and he was like, whatever. So then I didn't know they were porn. You get me? So one day my cousin, one summer my cousin spent the summer, and we were watching movies, and my mom had brought me the VHS of all the Bruce Lee movies, and we were watching it. And we burned through them all. And then he was like, what are we going to watch now? And I was like, well, we got a bunch of like Disney movies. We got all these like old movies, like these Jean-Claude Van Damme movies. He goes, man, I'm watching something different. And I go, oh, my dad brought a briefcase of movies. So it was like, my dad had stepped out with his sister and my aunt. They went to go for a beer run or whatever. And so we go into his room and we take down this fucking green briefcase. I remember this fucking green briefcase because it fell on my fucking head when I was trying to pull it down. And so we brought it to the living room, fucking dragging that shit fucking heavy. And I was probably like around 7 or 8, probably around that time. And we're looking through movies and it says like a bunch of weird titles, We're like, I don't know what the fuck this is.
Backdoor
What's this
Sluts
sign?
9.
I don't know. And then we saw one that said Taboo. Taboo. So we fucking put it on and then we're like watching it. It's like a bunch of like weird people and we fast forward it and we're like, whoa, we're not supposed to be watching this. So we take it out and we pop another one in. And the same thing. And it was like a bunch of people talking. We start fast forwarding and like, dude, there's like a bunch of like weird fucking movies. We take it out.
Horribly scripted.
So then we find one and there was like a bunch of like race cars in the beginning or whatever. It was like a cool intro and shit. We're sitting down right there watching them and shit like that. And then some dude's like meeting this chick in the fucking tennis court and it's like, oh yeah, let's go to dinner or whatever. And then they're going to dinner. From dinner, they end up going to the bedroom. And once the sex scene starts, my dad walks in. He's like, what the fuck are you guys doing? Like, where the fuck did you guys find these movies? And we're like, they're in your room. And then he's like, yeah. he's yelling at us and shit. And like, all the time he's just fucking yelling at us. The movie's still playing. My mom comes. That thing's still going on. So then my mom was gone with my grandma. She had taken my grandma to her doctor's appointment or whatever, and she comes in and she's helping my grandma up the stairs. And my dad's like panicking, trying to figure out how the fuck to stop it. You're fucking panicking, not stopping it. And he's like raising the volume, going fucking louder. They're straight railing in the fucking movie. My grandma walks in. And she comes in and just fucking pops my dad. I've never seen my grandma move so fast. She fucking pops him. Bah, right in the fucking face. You fucking pig. What kind of shit do you have your kids fucking watching and shit like that? Like, I'm over here worried about if they're going to church on Sunday. You're fucking putting dirty movies for them. And now they're like, oh, shit.
It's not for the kids. I thought I told you no kids.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's
Yikes.
So,
I got one
Okay.
that I was at that I thought I kind of brought it up before I go into detail real quick.
Go
Pretty
for it.
quick. So, okay, me and my pops went to
It doesn't involve porn, does it?
no, not at all, not at all.
Thank
I have some other story. So we go to an Oscar de la Hoya fight. So this is when I'm a kid, like pretty young, and it's him, his friend's son, and myself. There might have been there was a third person. Yeah, there was 3 of them. So whatever, we watched the fight's over. I don't remember shit about it, so don't ask me. But as we're leaving, as the everything's getting released, people are getting out of this venue drunk. I mean, like really drunk. And there's no, at this point, there's no law. Like, people are jaywalking, people are doing all kinds of crazy shit. Well, this little short bicep guy, probably like 5'2", maybe, with a cowboy hat, with fucking
The whole nine.
the snakeskin boot, everything. The
Straight Los
shade with
Bookies.
with the freaking gold chain, all that stuff. Belt buckle. He's crossing the street and he's straight up jaywalking. Little guy. And this white little, like, it was like a Nissan. It was like, stops, right? And they start honking at him. And it's this black lady. She's just like talking shit to him. Like, get the fuck out of the way. And she's like, I could hear her through the window, like, talking shit. And the little Mexican fool goes, fuck you. He just goes, fuck you. Do it with two of his hands, like, damn. And, well, the fucking back seat, I don't know if it was her son or her nephew or man, I don't know.
Some dude.
Some big ass fucking tall black dude gets out of the car. He's just fucking huge. And he's in his like security guard outfit. Like, so he does security, so he might have some kind of training. And I'm just like, oh my god, this little man is gonna be pummeled.
Fuck.
But my dad was witnessing this whole thing. So here comes, out of nowhere, my fucking dad sprinting. And Superman punches at him. Almost dropped him, but he was huge. He fucking like stumbled into the street. And then he's like squaring up with them. And like, so like, then it starts turning to like a racial thing.
Oh, fuck.
There's like a bunch of Mexicans that witnessed it. So the Mexicans are like, oh, like,
What the
starts-
fuck?
And then the girl's like, get back in the fucking car.
Oh, shit.
And so he realizes like, oh, if I start fighting this guy,
I'm dead.
they're gonna jump me. Like,
Uh-huh.
so he gets in the car, they take off, and then my dad's like, yeah, fuck you, like fuck you, and he was like, yeah, I wasn't gonna let that little guy get his ass beat. I don't give a fuck if he was in the wrong. Like, he's just like talking shit. But so for those of you that don't know my pops, that's a signature move.
The out of the blue.
It's the yeah.
The running head start snake punch.
The sprinting head start sucker punch.
His other one, he has two super.
The headbutt.
The headbutt.
Oh, so he has a running
No,
headbutt.
no, no.
No. It's a face-to-face headbutt.
face-to-face?
It's like
Yeah,
bam.
and he doesn't
You wanna
do that.
go?
No,
Boom.
it's just boom. Like that's the first. You're getting like if you want to go anywhere in your man's face, you're getting a fucking head.
That's tradition. That's the FS special.
Oh, that's
There was-
funny.
no, there's one time where we were on our way to Palm Springs. We're on our way to Palm Springs. His dad is driving. It's me, his little brother, his dad, and his dad's wife. And I don't know what I was doing. I was like in my own little zone, and his dad's driving and having his own private conversation with his wife up front. And I don't know, I'm zoned out, and we're almost there. It's like nobody on the highway, and out of nowhere, I just feel the car go like it just starts speeding up, and I look up, and he goes, "You motherfucker!" And I like look up, and there's this massive like fucking 4x4 monster truck next to us, and we're like in a family van rental, like it's not like it's super fucking Oswald's. I don't know. It's like not a car to be like squaring up with the fucking monster truck, you know. And his dad is like, "You fucking son of a bitch," and he's like driving to like ram that car off the road, and I'm like, "Oh fuck!" Like, me and his brother are looking at each other like, "Oh fuck, bro, this is it. We're gonna die. We're gonna die." His wife is looking. She's like, "What the fuck?" And he's like, "You fucking motherfucker!" And he's got the fucking. He's like rolling the window down, and he's flipping them off. And there's a hyena in the passenger seat, and the dude in the other seat. And the guy is like talking over his hyena to like his dad, and they're like screaming at each other from like this angle. And out of nowhere, they throw something at us, like all crazy. And he goes, "You fucking," like through the window. And then so he gets something, and he throws like a cup or whatever, like into their car. He nails it, like it goes in their car, and we're like, "Oh shit!" And then that fool fucking like is yelling or whatever, and this guy's dad like reaches in the shit and pulls out like a fucking Rambo knife. He's like, "You wanna fucking go, motherfucker? You wanna fucking go?" And then I think that guy, I don't know, it seemed like he pulled out a gun or a bigger knife or I don't know, whatever, but immediately the situation just got like from fucking red line to like whatever's after that.
New level.
And we're like, you know, and I look back and all the cars that were on the highway with us have all stopped and like slowed down, and it's just us, like fucking Speed. You know what I mean? Like that movie Speed, like it's just us on the fucking highway. And we get to this point where his dad gets all the way to the right lane to get onto another highway, and that car's like behind us, and that guy was on the phone. The guy that was in the car, he ended up getting on the phone, so he's behind us and he's on the phone. And I don't know, I got the vibe like that guy might have been a cop or some shit. Like that guy was hella fearless. He started to try to hit our car and like run us off the road when he eventually. And so like we're gonna get onto this lane, and like right at the last minute, his dad like pulls off back onto the highway, and that fool's truck like keeps going, and we fucking evaded it. Yeah, and I was just, I'm looking at this fool's little brother like, I can't believe this motherfucker just put us in a fucking death race with a monster truck, you know what I mean? And I come to find out, because I didn't know what happened, I come to find out that his dad cut that fool off. and then that fool came back around and cut his dad off. And his dad was like, "You fucking son of a bitch!" And that's when the car like that's when it all, you know, it had came about, and I was like, "Holy shit, good times."
Sounds like a great dad.
I like your dad. I won't get in the car with him, but I like him.
Oh yeah.
You don't want to get in a car
If he
with
ever
him.
asks, and he will, if y'all ever kicking it, and he's, "Hey, come with me to the store."
Oh, don't do it, unless you got like 5 hours to kill.
If you have 5 hours to go, or you might, if you don't mind potentially going to jail.
Yeah.
Because that could end up there.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. That sounds like
I think,
on that note, right there.
Sacred.
you got any like closing thoughts on this?
Are we?
Don't trust your dad.
It's hard to top that one, dude. Superman punch.
Do y'all think that you are who your dad would want you to be?
No.
No.
Nah, because my dad wanted me to be like a border patrol agent.
Oh my
I don't know why the fuck. Every time we were like in Mexico.
Like, fool, you're already here. You don't need any more.
Yeah, like, it never made sense to me. It never made sense to me.
You weren't even born here.
I was like, yo, like, you do realize, like, I was born on this side, right? Like, every time we were about to cross, it was like, look how cool they look. And
Oh
no,
my
they don't.
god.
No, they don't.
Yeah, my dad wanted me to be a lawyer, and if I couldn't be a lawyer, I had to be a soccer player.
A profession like
Yeah.
Like you just have to have skill.
Yeah.
What a letdown.
I mean, I was really good. I was when I played soccer when I was a kid. I was really good, but like I could never get along with my teammates. So,
I could tell.
Nah. And one time I had an incident in practice. Like there was, we had like this kid that was like the best scorer in the league, and I would play defense, you know. So like in practice, he has to score the goals, and I have to try to stop him, you know. So like he was really good. Don't get me wrong, he was really good. But like I would, since I was a kid, I would always play with like my uncles and my older cousins, you know, like. So they taught me how to play like rough, you know. So like when I would play, like if somebody like played rough with me, I was like, okay, I'm gonna play rough with you. Sometimes it wouldn't go okay, and then sometimes it was like a good game, you know, like oh shit, it's very competitive, like hell yeah, you know. So this fool one time, like, you know, he couldn't get past me, and every time he would like try to like come around me, like I would snatch the ball from him and, you know, like pass it on or whatever. And one time he's like coming at me, and he, instead of like trying to juke me or something, that fool just kicks the ball like randomly, like far away, you know. And he's like, he mumbled some shit underneath his breath, and I told him like what, like what'd you say? And he's like, he's just like talking shit, like walking away. And I was like, whatever, you know, like, so same thing, back to practice, coming on, I'm not letting him pass, and he does it again, you know, and I'm like, fool, like, relax, dog, it's not my fault, like, you fucking suck, you know. That fool got mad, dude. He got mad, and I was like, well, what's up then? And I pushed him, I'm like, what's up then, you know, and like, he didn't want to do nothing about it, and I was gonna go push him again, and like, the biggest fool on the team just like grabs me from the back of my shirt, and he pulls me. He was the coach's son, so like, it was in their best interest that we didn't get into a fight, you know.
It's not
Yeah, so,
Oh.
you know.
Yeah. Fighting isn't the
Damn.
way.
So you chose fighting over making your dad proud. Huh? Just
Tradition.
I just don't because he was good, but he was like too cocky, and I don't like people like that. You know, that just like show off and they're all like super conceited, like I'm the shit. You know, like
one guy tried to be like that at Turkey Bowl one time, and I put him in his place.
yeah,
Super
you know,
hard. Dog.
so
Fuck that fool.
after that, everybody saw he was a little bitch. You know, so like he didn't want to get down.
On that note,
So are y'all the guy? Are y'all the men you think your dad would want you to be?
No,
So, okay, we know why not.
No, but I think in a way we're better than our dads. You know, we learn from our dads, and it's either you.
I'm gonna tell him you said that.
You can tell him
I
why
thought you said you don't snitch, dog. What's with that?
Fuck that fool.
Oh,
No, but you know, it's just like the little things, like you know, like this was said, like I played baseball, I played soccer, you know, and baseball was my passion growing up. But he never showed up to any of my games, so now that my kids are doing their thing, you know, like
You should have chose a better sport, though.
pretty much. Well, his shit was always because he played.
or a better dad.
He played for Roosevelt, so my whole family played football, you know. And when I veered off to baseball, he was like, "That's a little bitch sport."
He's not wrong.
yeah, it wasn't lying.
This is depressing.
Yeah, we're fixing all our daddy issues here.
Yeah, as you can see, the issues.
We're working on it.
He's a better grandpa than he was a father.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, I don't think my dad. I think my dad wanted more for me, but I think he believed I could be more than whatever I am now. I mean,
Like what?
I don't know, like
Car sales.
car salesman. I don't know,
Shoe
like
salesman.
just like him, huh? 4 touchdowns in one game.
Yeah.
A women's shoe salesman.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think my dad realizes that he's got to be happy with whatever I am. You know what I mean? Considering the circumstances. But like I got a lot of praise from my family throughout life. Like always, like especially on my dad's side of the family, and especially like when I had at one point in time I had really decent academics, and there was a lot of promise for like college and shit like that. So I think that my dad anticipated that I would go to college and fucking do all that shit and whatever, you know. Like I remember like aspirations of like going to USC and playing ball for the Trojans and the whole, you know what I mean? And those are like big time aspirations, and like none of that came to fruition.
Oh, you
know?
don't say.
Yeah. I was close. I was hella close. You know, if I got an offer to play football,
Almost only counts with
Horseshoes and hand grenades. Yeah.
It's the only time it almost counts.
So, but yeah, so that's what I mean. Like I think he expected or anticipated more, and it didn't pan out. You know, so what I am, he's got to be happy with, and like I'm sure he is happy with a lot of the things that I have chosen to do in my life, especially when it comes to like the amount of time I've given certain groups and communities and all those things. Considering his example, I feel like they're pretty good.
I think if you set the bar low when you're young, you know, you exceed that afterwards and you're fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
But listen to that guy.
That's where we're at.
He wasn't grateful for the shoes he got. Don't listen
True.
to that guy.
No, cause like the same way, you know, like now, like even more recently within the past few years, like I've gotten more praises from my family, and it's funny because like sometimes they'll say it to my dad, and I'll be around there like, oh, you have a great son, you know, he's very respectful, da da da, and then he just kind of like looks and puts his head down, you know, like, and I don't know if it's because like shame or like, you know, because like I said, you know, he would always be like, oh, you ain't gonna do shit, da 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 da. You know, like,
I think after a certain point, like parents realize like fuck, like now they're doing life on their own. Like I fucked up, man. They're doing things completely fucking different, you know.
Yeah.
What about you two?
It's kind of like like I've heard him tell me he's proud of me, but kind of like what you were saying, like he thought I was gonna go out, and I didn't. But I think he's happy with where I am, He loves my kids. He likes me as a father. So ultimately, yeah, I would say yeah.
I mean, I don't know. To tell you the truth, I think it was expected. It was expected that I would be like a preacher or like a minister, you know,
Is he
something.
Christian?
Yeah, yeah. So like my family's super duper religious.
Aren't you a rabbi?
No. You know, and like there was, it's a long story, but like people expected that of me at a very young age. You know, that like I would go that route.
Preach the word.
Yeah, and be like a minister or something like that. And yeah, so in that regard, yeah, it didn't really pan out that way.
You don't say.
We would have had to call you Reverend X.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The good rev.
The
The
good
good
rev.
rev.
We
But
should
yeah,
play a clip
so,
of that.
So, you know, in comparison to like my other brothers, you know, they've done a lot better than me in terms of like staying out of jail and
How many brothers do you have?
I have 2 little brothers, like graduating college and you know high school and all of that kind of sort of shit. So you know, I didn't do any of that, and so in that regard, I think.
Loser.
You know, hey, you know. But on the other end, probably very similar to like how your dad felt about, you know, my community involvement and the things that I've done on behalf of my community. I think I want to say he's kind of proud of that, you know. So I don't know.
I think for me it gets to a point where it's like inconsequential how he feels.
Yeah.
You know?
I think for all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the bigger picture here to take from all this fun stories is I would say, for me personally, I mean, I love my dad and stories and all that stuff, but like I wouldn't want to put myself in those positions.
Like,
So,
like
Or
Superman
your
punch a
kids.
guy.
so to be better at not doing those things.
Yeah.
It was a good example, but I do strive to avoid those things, not because I'm cowardice, but because I have kind of that shit that, you know, that depends on me. So, but also I do take some of that tough ass attitude, and I do like to fight, and I've had plenty of fights in my life, but ultimately, yeah, it's just learn from it. For those that are out there that are watching that give a shit, learn from the positive and the negative.
Yeah.
Message from Red Bull.
I think there's a lot to be said with like at what point we're gonna just like be who like we have to create who we want to be because those examples weren't always there for us, you know what I mean? Especially if they're fucking putting us down, you know what I mean? Like I've been put down by my dad through letters before. You know, I wasn't communicating with him, and then all of a sudden I tried to communicate with him, and I remember one time I wrote to him like, yo, did they got AC in there? And he was like, yeah, the fucking dick hole in my boxers. You know, and I knew like he had never written to me like that before. He was being dead serious on like, what the fuck? Don't ask me no stupid shit like that. I'm in here stressing. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need to be fucking. Don't patronize me, type of shit. And I felt bad at the moment of reading it. You know what I mean? And like, you know. And then there was another time.
That's a piece of shit. No, not on your hand. That's like how you would respond to that.
Yeah.
Like that's.
And yeah, I mean there was build up to it, but he might have been on dope, I don't know. But the very first time I ever seen him without supervision as an adult was a really hard conversation for me. It was the first time I went to the prison by myself without his wife present or my nana or my grandpa or whoever would take me to visit him throughout my life. And that was a really hard conversation because he was visibly disappointed that I wanted to be a tattoo artist. You know, and he was just like, I could see the concern and the disappointment, and then like, what the fuck are you doing? What's your plan?
What are you doing?
What's your this? What's your that? You know, and well, I'm making a lot of money now, so, you know, but it only took a fucking long ass time. But at that time, I was like, for me, I felt proud of myself, and like, I decided what I'm gonna do and commit to that. with the type of commitment that you would commit to if you were at a university or if you had joined the military, you did this. Like, my commitment to what I wanted to do was fucking legit. And I was proud to at least have that. And as much as he wanted to support me, I could tell that he was just like, fucking, what the fuck, you know? And there was, and it was really soon after that I had to make a decision. Like, all right, well, however you feel is inconsequential, because I'm gonna fucking do me and I'm gonna run it, you know. And that's what I did. And he supports me now 100%, you know. And
I want to add that, like, just really quick, that like I noticed how like parents like really want to like push for us to fit their model of what they have for us, rather than like support us that in the stuff that we want to do.
Right.
You know, so like parents out there, support your kids.
Unless your kids want to be gangbanging.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Don't support that one.
Yeah.
Game bang together. Nah, but yeah, like it's true. Like I think, us three could learn from our parents was like give to our kids what we always wanted as a kid. So like I know for my dad, like he used to beat the shit out of me every time he got drunk and shit, and you know, and like, he was out there gang banging and shit and doing all kinds of stupid shit that would put me in a situation of witness like him beat the shit out of somebody, you know, just because he looked at him wrong. And as a little kid, like thinking at the age I was when that happened, and looking at how old my youngest daughter is right now, I was way younger than her, you know. And to see something like that, I'm like, dude, I don't even let my kids watch horror movies, or I keep them away from a lot of stuff, you know, like that I was exposed to as a little kid, you know. And like just the other day, I was coming back from TJ, and I was with my little nephew, the same age as my youngest daughter, my mom, and my aunt. And this dude, like, I merged in front of him, you know, and he left a big gap. I didn't cut him off. I still put my blinker. I merged in front of him all slow. And I'm just chilling there, you know, and just to give you an idea how long we're in the border, we did 12 hours waiting just to cross over. So I was putting a movie for my mom on my phone, and she was watching it, and I hear like this, like arguing, like this guy, like somebody just yelling a bunch of shit, and I'm tripping out. I'm like, damn, somebody's really arguing. So I turn around, and it's the guy that I went in front of, like some short ass little gangster guy, like just telling me all kinds of shit. Like, what the fuck, you fucking pussy, you know, you coward. Like, we're waiting here, and you're just gonna cut in front of me, and like talking all this shit. And I was really like getting like fired up and shit, and he opened his door. He had like a big ass Escalade, and he jumps out of his car. He's probably like 5'2". So he literally like jumped out like boy, off, and I laughed, you know. And as soon as I was gonna get out of the car and confront this guy, I was like, you know, I'm gonna be stuck with this dude for another few hours, dude. Like, I got my nephew in the car, I got my aunt, my mom. Like, what am I doing? You know, like I can't, like, fuck it, like let him talk his shit. What is he doing to me? You know, unless he actually comes up to me into my door, then you know I'm gonna have to do something. But what the fuck am I going looking for a fight? Like, it's just stupid, you know. And a lot of things my dad would do as a kid that I was like, dude, you're stupid for doing shit like that. I was driving around East LA as 12, 13 years old because he was like fucking super drunk, you know, trying to avoid cops and shit. And I don't drink, and I wouldn't think about drinking in front of my kids. So like, you learn shit from the mistakes your parents did that I wouldn't want to do as a dad. And I'm pretty sure I'm doing a bunch of stupid shit, but not as bad.
Well,
Making some progress.
Well, go ahead and tell us some of your dad stories in the comments section. Some of your biggest takeaways.
Or DM on Instagram.
I don't answer DMs.
I do.
Yeah, don't hit up my DMs. But yeah, go ahead and drop all the things, the comments and the likes and the subscribes and the stuff, and tell us your stories, and maybe we'll shout out like the coolest story next week.
Oh, from the doorway in to the doorway out. One heart, one mind, one soul.
One Chanupa.
Oh.
Okay,
You're a black dad.
I'm recording. You're recording?
Good?
Record.
Everybody recording? We're going live? Broadcasting live from an undisclosed location.
Talking like it. This is KTMC, the men's circle. My name is Circle Los Angeles. My name is Brad Tom.
What? Who? What?
Move over.
Who moved? No, I'm not moving over.
No, not you.
Oh, what?
Just to the right.
Who? Me move
The
over?
microphone, everything blocks you.
Okay, y'all are first you kick me out of my land, then you kick me out of my seat. Just kidding.
We need a high chewy's lip
A little bit
anyway.
more. A little bit more. Is that too? Oh yeah, that right there. Keep your head right there.
Yeah.
See? I call it 6 a.m.
Alright. Are we ready?
Are we ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
With you.